Hello from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. You're watching Phantom TV, and I'm Lou Beccaria, your host for Poking Around Phoenixville. Our show today is about an annual event that is taking place very shortly called the Community Prayer Breakfast. This is an annual event that's put on by a local group called the Social Concerns Committee, and we have two of the committee members and community leaders here with us to talk about the Community Prayer Breakfast. And they are Rudy Armour and Emma Valentine. So, ladies, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's start off with you, Emma. What's the purpose of this event that's called the Community Prayer Breakfast, and how did it get its name? Why does it have that particular name?
Well, we have it because of the fact that we realized there had to be some kind of tribute paid to Martin Luther King, and this came out of committee. Mm-hmm. When I say out of committee, I'm talking about the Social Concern Committee, and we are a part of the Phoenixville Area Interfaith Council of Churches.
Okay.
We're one of their entities, you know. And when we got together, we thought this would be a wonderful way of doing it. And we were looking for diversity within the community, and we figured this is the way to go with it.
Good.
And that's why we decided to have this.
Tell us a little bit more about the Social Concerns Committee. You said it's a kind of a subset of a larger organization?
Right, right.
And that is the Phoenixville Interfaith Council?
We belong to that. We started out that every church had one representative. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what happened in the beginning, and that's how I became a part of it. My pastor, Pastor Armour at the time, thought I would be good on this committee, and he asked me to sit on it.
Okay.
I think there might have been a meeting or two before I got involved. I worked at the time, and I work shift work, and sometimes I can't always go where I want to go when I'm working.
Yeah. How long ago was this that the committee was put together, Emma?
I say a good 15 years.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been running.
Is it safe to say that the event, the Community Prayer Breakfast, is a part of the fabric of the community right now after all that long time?
Yeah, because we always average around 200, and we draw from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And even now this Social Concern Committee, we have expanded. We had decided that I needed representative, and so did the chief of police. He had to be a part of it. The mayor was very important. Mm-hmm. I can't think right now who the other ones are. But beside the churches, we added them in because we felt that their input on anything we're doing was important.
Right.
You know. Now this breakfast is big, but any other kind of community problem, they'll come to us. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a funny one. They came to us because the men wanted to play cards at the firehouse, and the firehouse wouldn't let them, and we had to intercede. It was cute, but it really happened. Yeah, that was one of our big problems. Yeah, we had to take care of that.
So kind of like a peacemaker, if you will, in the community. The community indirectly.
That always stayed with me because I thought that was so funny. You know.
Ruby, who are some of the members of this Social Concerns Committee this year, for example?
This year, Donald Cobbage, he is president. We have Greg Porter, he sits on the committee. We have Mayor Scudder, he's on the committee. It's like about 15 of us in all arranged on the committee. And the basic is be a diversity of not only the whole community, but of people that's planning and preparing this breakfast from every aspect of life, from different churches, the religion, and different things that we're coming together, pulling this together. Mm-hmm. So it makes it so unique that we all can work as together, as different backgrounds, jobs, religion, social, that we can all come together and plan this one event that everybody comes and attends to and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's from the look on both of your faces. It seems like it's an event that's very enjoyable to put on and to plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the planning. Since I've touched on the topic of planning, tell us, how do you plan? How long does it take to put this event together? Ruby?
We start like the month after. It's April when it's held. May we start with coming together and picking our speaker for the next year and who's going to be in what position, what place, and what we're going to be doing, so that when it comes to the beginning of the year, we're not scrambling to put things in position. So it's well planned, and we take our time.
Yeah.
Excuse me, one of the people we forgot to mention was the school district. We always have a representative from the
Okay.
school, and that's very important too.
So you really do try to be as
Yes.
comprehensive and broad-based as you can
Yeah.
possibly could be.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Was there an event back 15 years ago that spurred the development of this community prayer breakfast? Like sometimes in communities there's something happens, there's a crisis, or there's something happens and people get together and form an organization or form an event or whatever. Is that the case with the community prayer breakfast? What
No.
gave it life, in other words?
I don't know. I think maybe the incident at the school, the kids weren't getting along. And I think that triggered a lot of it.
Okay.
You know, there's a little bit of friction there. And
ahead,
And basically, we did not have an event here that would bring like all the cultures together and all the social and religion. And with the little things we were handling, like Emma was saying, with the gambling and stuff at the firehouse and all that, we were handling small little events that our police officers didn't have to intercede on those. And we would search out the complaints, and if it needed to be, we would take it to the proper person that would need it to be. So we started out basically like that. So we said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could come together at a point, you know, and celebrate, have a theme, eat, all of us coming together and sharing that what have the past things that went on in our community in the past year. So it's just it's basically a celebration that we are doing at the accomplishments that we have done in Phoenixville and the people and how we're moving forward.
Before we go further into the show, let's give a plug right off the bat, and we'll try to come back and give a couple other plugs. But for this year's event, what is the date and time and place, and how much does it cost to go?
Well, the date is April 14th. It will be held at St. Mary's Assumptions Hall, which is old school. The time will be 8 a.m. sharp. Tickets are $10, and you can contact me, Ruby Armour, at 610-933-1340 to receive tickets or make reservations or however you would want to do it.
And how much are the tickets?
$10.
$10 the
Yes.
tickets. Okay. All right, let's get back. We'll come back to another commercial announcement in a second. We've talked about that it's been going on for quite a long time. And what goes on at the breakfast exactly? Can you explain? It's about a 2-hour event, and what goes on in those 2 hours? Emma?
well, we started out by just having a well-known speaker, someone that would attract people to want to come. And then we realized that we wanted to expand a little more. So then we come up with the Humanitarian Award. And then from that, we came up with the fact that we have to get the children involved and get them parents to come out and understand what we're trying to get across in our own tactful way. And so from there, we trying to think of we decided to recognize these children. In the beginning, it was just a matter of them playing maybe an instrument or singing to entertain us or some, job like that they would have. But now we expanded it, and they write a contest. There's a contest every year that's any child in the area can apply, irregardless of your school or where you go or anything
And
like that.
they write an essay on a theme.
Yeah, and we pick a theme, and then they go with it. So this year it's very broad. It's I have a dream, and everyone has their own dream of what they think it should be. We have elementary, middle school, and senior high school. We give 3 awards. They get a saving bond. They get a book put in the library in their name. Now this year we expanded it that the child will take that book home also. Before we were sort of like Indian givers. We gave it to them for a day and took it back and put it in the library. So we've changed a little bit.
So the library gets one, and the child
the library
gets one.
of that particular school. Yeah.
Okay.
So that works out good.
That's really a wonderful thing to do, is to involve the young people so that they get the message real early about peace and so forth.
Right.
Now, the Humanitarian Award, let's go into that for just a second. How do you pick the Humanitarian Award? What are the characteristics or the criteria for winning the award?
We want someone who really lives diversity, someone who believes in it and practices it, and anyone that knows that person knows, they feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were characteristics, obviously, that Martin Luther King espoused.
That's yes.
So it's in his
Actually,
honor.
that's the Yeah.
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 Who were some of the past winners?
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to read this because I don't want to miss anybody.
Should
Okay,
never
we
miss
had Debbie
anybody.
Mitchell, Maura Marma, Paul Jones, Emma Gucci, Peg Kelly McDonald, Richard Kunch, David Fries Jr., and then we got Mr. McDonald, John McDonald, who is Peg's husband, a very, very active man in the community. And now I can't tell you this year because it's a secret.
Yeah.
The person's not supposed to know until the morning of the breakfast. And
this
we try to
started,
keep
yeah.
it quiet.
It
That they
started
don't
in
know.
1999 was our first award.
Yeah,
1999.
1999. Yeah.
So that's when we started.
Now,
But the
I-
event is older than that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
that's when we decided that we would
the
recognize this and do
humanitarian
this
award.
award, that it warranted it. Yeah.
Well, from the list of the past awardees, that's
people.
quite a who's who of leadership
In the community.
in the community.
Yeah,
So you've
yeah.
done a great job.
Practically any one of them you would recognize. You know, most people would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the students. They do essays, correct? And they get an award. Do they get a chance to read their essay at the breakfast at all?
Yeah, we started that just recently. That they've been reading them. Yeah.
They've been reading them, and they also last year, the first year that we published them in the memory book.
Yeah, we
So that that the people can have them, you know, for later on to read back upon. The first year that we started with the essays with the children was 1996. The Social Concerns Committee, we had a conflict with the YMCA with their Good Friday breakfast. So we joined them, and we had it held out at the Y. And it was very good because the children didn't only do essays that time. We had some artwork done by the children, and it was displayed, and that was really really too. Yeah.
So you really do have a long history of involving
Yes.
kids
Yes.
in this,
Right.
in this
Yes.
event.
Right.
And now, do you, going along with that theme, do you encourage children to come with their parents to the
yes.
event
Yeah.
as well?
Yes.
Especially the award winners, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just the,
We would like to see other fun. You know, we'd like to promote that a little bit. That the parents would come with the children. We would really enjoy that. Yeah.
great.
Another helper I want to talk about with this, the Boy Scouts here in Phoenixville
Yes.
have been very good about coming to help set up. When we rent this hall, we rent a hall, but the tables and chairs and all that has to be gathered together and everything. And they've been very good about coming out and giving us a hand in setting up and breaking down. So we do have an involvement of the children there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we just have the children. Their parents don't usually participate in this, and it'd be nice to get them out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, you're doing a great thing to involve the kids. Why is it so important to have this event? And I'm not aware of any other community, actually, certainly in Chester County, that has an event like this. Why is it so important to have it here in Phoenixville? Ruby?
Phoenixville is a very unique town.
How so?
We're loving. No matter what our community situations are, we can always come together and be with each other, love each other, recognize each other for their attributes and things. It's a way of bringing all of us together on that day. Like you said, there is no other event that's being held like that. Our clergies, I think it's like 17 churches that is in our clergies. There is like about 9 of us represents churches on the Social Concerns Committee. Out of Bethel, we have 2 people that represents. So it's a wonderful thing, and it's just a loving thing. We come and we enjoy each other. I don't think I've ever heard anyone not have a good time ever at the breakfast.
It is one of the social occasions
Yes.
of
Yeah.
the
I
year
get
in
to meet
Phoenixville.
people I haven't
I
seen in a
think
long
so, too.
time.
Yeah.
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 Now, Ruby, Emma says she was drafted by her clergy person to be involved in this. How did you
I
initially
was
get involved?
drafted by the Pastor Stanley Faison at
Okay.
the time, and he felt that I was
At
one
Bethel
that
Baptist,
yes,
Bethel.
at Bethel Baptist, which I'd sit on a lot of different ministries in there. So he just felt that I was the one that was, suited to sit in on it. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
Both of you are known as community leaders, and of course that's the way we introduced you on the show. Why do you do what you do as community leaders? Like, what are some of the other things that you do, Ruby? And Emma will get to you in a second about the things you do. Why do you do it?
I love people, children especially. I mean, kids are so unique in their own way, and when they said about helping the children and the community, I enjoy children. I just love people. I work as a program coordinator for a daycare center and with the elderlies, and I've always worked in the field of human service. So people is very important to me.
Okay.
I just love working with people.
Good. Okay.
I'm a people person too. And I was born with, I think, extra load of compassion. I seem to be there when you need someone to talk to or cry to and so on.
And of course, you're mostly known for founding an organization
Yeah,
with exactly that name.
Right.
Compassionate
Phoenixville
Friends.
Compassionate Friends. That's my big thing, I guess you would say. That takes #1 priority, you know. So.
Well, it's the committee couldn't have, or the community couldn't have two better people to come on the show to talk about the event because of your very strong commitment to the community. Before we wind up the show, we'd just like to ask you, is it safe to say that this event is probably the most ecumenical event in Phoenixville and maybe even in Chester County?
I would say so.
Yeah, for a social,
For
yeah,
social,
for a
yeah.
social
Yes.
gathering, yeah.
Yes, it
We
is.
do offer seminars from time to time that people are invited to go to and sit in on diversity.
Speaking of seminars, I guess we can give a plug to something that you have coming up, a workshop on race relations, as I understand.
Right.
Yes.
And could one of you talk to us about that?
That will be held on April 28th at the conference room of Phoenixville Hospital. We bring in the same basic thing. All the leaders, different ones are being invited throughout the community. We're sending out invitations to sit in on. It's from 9 till noon. We're going to be doing the diversity and the racial. So it's going to be a workshop, so it's going to be nice and everything.
Is there any cost involved to come to it?
No, it's free.
To the community?
Yeah, it's free, and invitations have been sent out to various leaders and ones. So we hopefully for that would be a great event, and it will be all in the paper and everything, and we can read up on it and everything.
It would be good that if you're listening and want to get involved in this, it's never too late. If you call Ruby, I'm sure she'll be able to get you a seat on this. We like to get the people behind the people. I mean, people know Ruby, they know me. But if it wasn't the people behind us doing the little stuff that we don't turn around and do, it wouldn't exist.
Yes.
So I think it's important that we get the guy behind the scene, and recognize them for what they do.
Okay, good
Yeah.
thought. Before we sign off, let's give another plug for the community prayer breakfast, the day, time, cost, so forth.
Okay,
Where they can get tickets?
St. Mary's Hall on Grant Street in Phoenixville. It's April 14th. The price is $10. There's tickets available by calling Ruby.
At
Ruby.
610-933-1340. And the time is 8 o'clock sharp.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on the show, and thank you for all the leadership you give to our community and to this particular event.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to Poking Around Phoenixville. It's been our pleasure to host this show for you. I'm Lou Beccaria. I'll look forward to seeing you around town, and remember, play nice and be kind to each other. Take care.